It's a new year. A lot of people say Happy New Year, but then for me, it's just a flip of the calendar. There's really nothing that has changed. It's just me trying to consolidate on what I was already working on. So I'm not really, when I say Happy New Year, I'm not saying that I'm a changed person or that the year is actually new or that the theme is actually new. I already have a pattern and I'm trying to consolidate on that towards the end goal, which is the impact we're trying to create in life. But then this is not a written script. So I'm just trying to say it's a new year. And then I just talked about impact. So it means that somehow we're supposed to know or have rather certain types of things or impact that we're trying to create as far as we on earth. I'd always believed that for ye are gods, it means that God created man in the likeness of God. And one thing I believe is that God stays in a place that is so, well, I'm trying to humanize God now, but then God stays in a place that's quite, they say it's heaven, one of the best places or the best states to be in. And then if we're trying to be like God, then it means we're supposed to be in a heaven, sort of. And in a situation where we find ourselves in a position or in a place or environment that doesn't look anything close to heaven, then it means that we were kept there for a reason, and that reason is that we try to create that heaven ourselves. I'd always believed that as a God, you're supposed to stay in heaven. And for the fact that you're not means that you've been given all the raw materials to be in heaven, to make your own heaven. And that's how I say it. So this is a new year, this is 2025, and there's one simple challenge. And that challenge is more like a question. What are you doing? How are you building your heaven? A lot of people are going to complain about the environment where they find themselves in, but then that environment is supposed to contain all the raw materials that's supposed to help you build the heaven. That's what I believe. That's what I'd always believed in, and that's what's been working for me. And if you are a Numeratti, you're supposed to know that too. That's the ideology. So I can't just stand here almost every time, all the time, in front of a screen when I'm not trying to create an impact. It was the need for an impact, the need to ask questions, the need to create this heaven that made me overcome the shyness of staying in front of a camera just so I could speak with you. So that singular fact, that singular act means that you are supposed to be building something. So this is 2025. What exactly am I building? What exactly are you building? Well, for me, for the first part, I want to build a community that asks questions. I've been in Nigeria for basically all my life, and I've noticed the trend of I don't care. It's getting worse by the day. A lot of people just don't care. It's very crazy though. But then these are some of the things that we're supposed to talk about. For example, you see the cops, the police, trying to do something that you feel is improper. You see the police trying to harass someone and you don't care because it's not happening to you. But then one day it will get to your doorstep and then you'll begin to care, and every other person will not care. So when we begin to ask the right questions, we begin to build society, and that's what I'm all about. That's what Mimi Numbers is all about, and that's what the Numeratti is all about. Ask questions, challenge the status quo, That is the community I'm trying to build. People who, in their various spheres of life, in their various walks of life, are you a medical doctor? What do you think is wrong in that field? Ask questions, challenge why that particular thing is the way it is. Prefer solutions. What are we trying to do here? How do we create a solution that's very independent of the government? If you ask the typical Nigerian, he would say, the government is supposed to do this, the government is supposed to do that, the government is supposed to be this, the government is supposed to be that, the government is supposed to be here. But then, if we look at what democracy is all about, democracy has to do with the government of the people, the government by the people, and government for the people. In the first place, it is comprised of the people, and it is run for the people. So, who are the people? Me, yeah, you too. We are the people that make up the government. So when you say the government is supposed to, it's kind of, I don't know how I see that, but then I believe that if you want to make your country work, if you want to make Nigeria work, if you want to make Africa work, that is your duty. If you've not been conscious of it, this is 2025. It's a new year. It gives you an opportunity to, start afresh. Start now to ask questions. Are you a student? Is there something wrong? Ask questions there. Why is this thing like this? This is not supposed to be like this. Prefer a better solution to it. That's what the Numeratti stands for. That's what Mimi numbers stands for. So you choose a particular area, a particular sphere of life, a particular walk of life, and you try to create an impact there. And this impact starts with challenging the status quo, asking questions. Are you a medical doctor? What's wrong there? Challenge the status quo. Let's look for solutions. Solutions that are independent of the government, independent of whoever the president is. Solutions that are financed and fueled by the people. That's what I'm all about. We are the people. We are the government. So that's how I see it. If this country is to grow, all hands must be on deck, yours and mine. We need to put our hands together and work towards the reformation and the redemption of this particular country, of this particular continent. A lot of things are going wrong. A lot are. But then we're supposed to somehow come out of the wreckage with our heads above the water. So what are you doing today? For me, in my free time, I go around trying to see what's wrong with a particular food product, what's wrong with a particular drug product or health product. These are things that I'm always looking out for, because I feel that this is an area I may have a little bit of an insight into, and that's why I'm interested in it, and that's why I'm challenging the status quo. I may be looking at what's actually wrong with this particular thing as pertains to the environment. This particular thing you're doing is kind of polluting the environment. This particular thing is not healthy. So you can call me the safety and standards king. That's what I'm all about. So it's not just about you being here. Someone said, don't ask what the country has done for you. The question should be, what have I done for the country? I believe in the law of reciprocity. Sorry for that, before I bite my tongue. But then I believe in the law of reciprocity, which has to do with what I do, I expect in return. You can't expect something in return if you don't give out something. That is how nature works. So what are you doing for your country? What efforts have you put in place? What things have you put in place to make sure that Nigeria functions, to make sure that Africa works? What are those things? You may be thinking that you're too small. You're not too small. In that your small area, in that particular place where you are at, begin to challenge the status quo. If Mary Slessor didn't come to challenge the status quo, there wouldn't have been a P Square. She made sure that the killing of twins was stopped in Africa. But before then, it was tradition, it was the norm. But because someone came and decided to challenge the status quo, now we have a lot of twins. We have the likes of P Square, who've put Nigeria at the global, in the map at the global stage. As far as entertainment is concerned, there are a whole lot of things that can be achieved as impact-wise if we begin to ask the right questions. Why is this thing like this? I feel like this is wrong. I feel like this is inconvenient. I feel like this is bad. You challenge it. You proffer solutions. For the most part, I would always advise that you have a better solution before you challenge something. But then, come to think about it from another point of view, you'd see that if you're waiting to have a solution, you may not really challenge the status quo. So challenge the status quo. Someone else could come with a solution, even if you don't have one. So that's as simple as that. So like I said, this is 2025. In your various walks of life, continue to challenge the status quo. In my own area, I'm challenging the status quo. Packaged foods, packaged health products. This is wrong. I'm going to tell you why it's wrong and what you should do better. That's what I feel. That's what I think. Is it safe? Is it the standard? Welcome to 2025. Happy New Year. I wish you the very best. I am Mimi Numbers. And like I always say, if you're not making numbers, your days are numbered. See you.